What's up?
Yo, what's up, Chris? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh man, just a little busy, but I'm good, man. Trying to get that perfect setup.
I
It's
get
all
it.
good. It's all good. I'm
I
still
was
getting used to all this technology stuff.
I was just reading comics and realized one, Donnie Cates has left Thor,
Yeah,
which not exactly too excited about, but um and then two, that I'm missing Moon Knight 17. So I just was on previews putting that in, ordering that, saying, "Hey, I got to pick this up."
yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm really lucky with comics. I just kind of run into them, and I run
Yeah.
into them in different ways. I have many friends who own comic book shops. Shout out to my boys at Bulletproof Comics. What up? That's free advertisement. I want to get paid. No, I'll get it. And I got a lot of people, friends I know, and ways I get comics. It's just weird. Like I just like comics find me like no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm looking at your pile back there. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I'll just show you real quick what I got going on right next
Yep.
to me. That's just a pile I have right there, just sitting right next to me.
Nice.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing. I'll be showing in my videos next week. I have about these piles, each one, like I'll just show you a couple of them. But each one of these piles, like I get from different distributors. Like I'm doing a show about these four next week. Let's see, and they're all number zeros. So
Okay.
each pack comes with like comics of three. So there's
Yep.
like a comic. And what they do is they put like a hidden comic in the middle. It could be anything though. I mean, sometimes I pull crap out of there, and I've been getting these from my friends for years, and I can tell you there were times. That's why I started recording it because there were times where I pulled things out of there that like even to this day I'm impressed with. Like I remember I pulled out of these things many times. Spider Man's number ones. I pulled
Yeah.
out. Um, I pulled like maybe five Spectacular Spider Man number twos, the original Spectacular Spider Man. I pulled from this also like the first Deadpool's. I pulled some really like books over the years. I pulled some New Mutants down, the first Cable. I mean, this is why I do the shows. Like what I do is I have about what I'm showing you in piles. I have over 500 of these. So if you're figuring it's like 500 times three each pack, you're talking 1,500 comics that I haven't looked at yet
There you
because
go.
over the years, I'm telling you, I wish that's the only thing I regret, like not doing the channel that far back because over the years, with the things that I've pulled out, like I'm just sitting there sorting them. So back in the day, I would just sit there and pull them out and sort them out. And go, okay, I picked the Spidey ones first, and then my others I will put because I collect not just Spider Man. Just so happens that Spider Man's the main man, but you
Yep.
know, I'll collect the Spider Man, I'll collect the Batman, I'm collect the Wolverine, X Men, I collect the Superman. I have a great collection. Action comics, adventure, like I have a real huge collection. This right here is just only a portion of what I really have. This is just a portion of it. But in the end, um, I plan to yeah, I see that man.
I'm
I like
still
it.
waiting for him to get Black Winter to come back.
Nice.
Like that's the one I'm hoping to pop off soon.
Yeah, good. I mean, I'm telling you, guys, pay attention to my shows that are gonna be coming up next couple weeks because I'm gonna be pulling things like, um, oh, I would like to ask you this question. We were talking about this last time. We're gonna get to this. We're not gonna stay on this too long. I don't know how much time you have. I have plenty of time, so I'm good.
I've got
So,
about an hour.
that's fine.
My
So,
wife's playing Harry Potter right now, so I'm gonna jump on after this.
there you go. Oh, you're taking turns. You're distracted. They
Yep.
jump on. That's cool. So I want to put on CGC again. I think I let it lapse, or it's about to, and I'm
Okay.
hearing like the prices are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. So
Uh,
I'm not even sure if I should reactivate it and just go to CBCS because I have so many books that are well, they're all Stan Lee books I want to send in. They're about maybe I'm gonna say I have about over I don't know 30, 40 of them signed by
yeah.
Stan Lee over the years, and they're all legit. Some of them have papers, some of them don't. But I feel like if you've been around long enough, that's what I like about CBCS because they
Yep.
can actually authenticate those signatures. Because he has
Exactly.
a he has a different penmanship for every decade that he's gone through in his life.
Yeah.
You know, So also the signatures can be verified. So there's no way I'm going to send this to CGC and get a blue label. I feel like that's a slap in the face, knowing that it's from the man himself. But because they
Well,
weren't
they
there
would
to
be
witness it,
green too. It wouldn't even be blue.
yeah, they'll give me a green one, which will really piss me off because that's like saying the book is incomplete because Stan Lee signed it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. You know, and I bought some CBCS books that was signed in the past, and I gotta be honest, I'm very happy with the books. I mean, I always liked CBCS better for the fact that they just were way ahead of the times. Look, they were already doing the barcode, the UPC scan on the back. They were doing that way before CGC started doing. The CGC just started doing that because I had sent in a Golden Age book.
Yeah.
I sent in a Golden Age book for Adventure Comics. This is like the I have a couple of Golden Age books, but this one was like for me. I was like, all right, this is not the oldest, but it's at the very edge of the Golden Age. So I was like, I'm gonna
That
send
makes
it in.
sense.
So I sent it in, and I'm very happy with the grade it came back, you know. Um I was very happy with the grade. I just say like when it came to books like these, I always find an affinity to like really hold off until I do a huge. I'm just pulling things that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
It's like I'm finding books in my collection that I forgot about. Like I was looking at this one recently, and it looks good, but this is completely destroyed. That's the back. But I mean,
Wow.
I know it looks good in the picture, and this is old. But I'll be honest, like this is just always around the layer. Keep it on the side, and I always like watch this every day. But like I'm just finding crazy freaking books, and I just want to put like I have so
Where
many
the hell
signed
did I
books.
get this from?
Yeah, it's I've been look, so you know me. I'll just say that. So it makes sense. Like when I'm telling you, I've
Yeah.
been collecting since I was a child, and I was a child. It was back in the day. So I gotta say, throughout my childhood, I
Yeah.
probably accumulated 4 long boxes from that point on, and the
That's
rest I
crazy.
got now. Yeah, that was from my childhood up until I'm gonna say I really stopped kind of at collecting when the second to third year of Spawn came out. Then I like
Okay.
then I was a soldier back then, so no war or anything. I'm not no war hero. I was a soldier. I went to the military. It was harder for me to buy the comics, and I just
Yep.
stopped collecting. But I still had my boxes floating with me, and by the time I left, I had my 4 complete boxes of my collection. So I was in my early 20s at this point, and I was like, you know what? I want to start collecting it, but it was getting so expensive.
Yeah.
And then that's
No,
when I
for sure.
started. That's when my mentor of collecting hooked me up with um. I would call them the quarter vowels of comics.
Okay.
Because when I show you guys the barcodes, you gotta understand. Back in the day, these things were supposed to be utterly destroyed. However, there is a court of appeals that doesn't feel like, well, look, it comes down to this. So understand about the history of comics, and the more you know, the better off you'll be as a collector.
Yep.
Comics were supposed to be destroyed. They said they destroyed them. They didn't destroy them. I'm not mad at them because I'm the person who's picking these up. Okay? So when I'm showing you guys barcodes and stuff, these are things that are like gathered up by collectors and they're just put together, and it's up to us to decipher what's valuable, what's not, what's collectible, what's not. I take it all in. I'll be honest, I have thousands of comics. I don't even know how many comics I have. I mean, if I had to count honestly off the top of my head, I'm gonna say about maybe 15,000 comics, maybe more. I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know. I'm still organizing. It's been months. Like it's been months. I'm still organized. I was doing some work up here today. I was putting some posters on the ceiling. This is just like I need an assistant. I need a damn intern. Everybody wants to intern, hit me up, man. I'm telling you, I need
Isn't that
one
why you're
so
getting
bad.
married?
Yeah, listen, man. You know what it is? Let me tell you. Shout out to my girl, the baddie girl. Listen, she's wonderful, but she got her own stuff going on. And believe me, I showed you some paintings that um my in-house artist did, Nico Artist Supreme. Shout out to you, Nico Artist Supreme. Word. I mean, I'm gonna be doing like we were talking about doing a live show, so I think I'm gonna bring her on, and she's gonna bring some paintings on the baddie girl, and I mean she's got her own craziness going on as well. But she is responsible for a lot of what you see in the layer because when what happened was when we met, she was like and I've been with her forever. She was a collector. I didn't
Okay.
realize she was, and she saw I was a collector. And then one day I wake up and she bought me like this weird like Spidey statue. Matter of fact, where is it? Oh no, it's too buried. The best way to describe it is a Spider-Man hand with a freaking knife. That's it. It's like he's holding a spider knife. It's so
That's
cool.
what's up.
I was like, wow, this is so original. I've never seen this. And I told her, oh, I love pieces like this, and she was happy. She was like, oh, okay. So then next thing I know, almost everything you're seeing, like all my collectibles and stuff. A lot of that she got me over the years. I got friends who gave it to me, family. Everybody's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" Spider Man. They're like, "What? Spider Man? I don't care. Just whatever. Like,
Yeah.
just send me whatever. I didn't care." And over the years, like I was building a comic cave. You know, it's done, but I'm still putting it together. And I was going to use that originally, but this office that I had was empty, so I was like, you know what? Why am I gonna wait? Why do I have to wait? I have an empty room already. I might as well just take this office and do something with it. And then
Yeah.
one day I just got in here and I've been doing this for a couple of years now. It's been years.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm always feel like this. Yeah, I'm never gonna be done. I say I'm gonna be done, but every
Yep.
time I'm done, there's a new pile that just happens to pop up out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, jeez.
Yep.
Plus, what I don't like about the layer, the only thing I don't like about the layer is that this layer is like in a weird kind of corner of my house. It's the coldest freaking room in the house, but it's the most perfect place to keep your collectibles. It's the coldest and the driest. There's no moisture in here, none of that. It's
Oh,
perfect place to preserve all your stuff in the cold, dry cold. You don't want that moisturized cold.
yeah.
Just but at the same time, it keeps me out of here too because it's so cold in here. And even with my heat, if I put the heat on, it's so far away. I don't even bother. I have a heater. I just don't even use it. I think,
Every time they think I'm out, they pull me back in.
yeah, you're damn right. You ain't going
I feel like
nowhere.
that's how collectors are who have been collecting for 20 plus years. Every
Yeah,
single one of them will say, I got out of it for like 3 years here, 5 years here. I was out of it for maybe like off and on for this 10-year period. And now like I'm back in it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be off and on with this because I just love reading the books.
yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. Like, I even with the stacks and the bundles I was doing, I was getting great prices for them. I
Yeah.
stopped doing that for a while, and then my fiance is like, "What are you doing?" She said, "You're getting these for a great price, and you're enjoying collecting. Why'd you stop?" I
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, you're right." So I just decided to pick up, and I just kept going, and I've been going for like I don't know, strong. Honestly, I'm gonna say for at least 20 years straight now.
So I've got two questions:
Yes,
long box or short box? What do you prefer?
short box, and I'm gonna tell you why. As we get older, those shits get heavier. And also, short boxes are they're more easier to. I'll be honest,
Yes.
when I was younger, I was always with the long box because, less things for me to carry.
Yep.
But as you get your own house and you start to like become something in life and you start accumulating, you're like, oh, wait,
Yeah.
now I got a house. So, but now it becomes a pain in the ass. I got to pull this long box out.
Yep.
Short boxes. In fact, I have core collectibles, meaning like I have a long box of Amazing Spider-Man, and that's pretty much from the lowest number you could possibly imagine up to like maybe 225.
Okay.
I'm thinking about breaking that down into short boxes and putting them
Yeah.
box 1, 2, 3, 4 because I pretty much I say out of what almost 1,000 comics in Spider-Man, I may have about 700 of them, all of them. So I'm gonna have all of them, but I'm
Yeah.
3/4 of the way having that whole collection from the old ones to the new ones too. I never stopped collecting them, and
Yep.
it's just weird because when the legacy numbers come out and the variants come out, now you have so much sorting to do. This
Yep.
wasn't like this when I was a kid. Believe me, it wasn't like this. All these crazy things, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like the craziest thing I seen in my day as a kid, it was that freaking tattoos that was in the Hobgoblin book that I
Yep.
decided to put on like an idiot. So of course you get it back to Green Label and you're like, come on, man. And then I
Yep.
realized, oh dummy, you did that. But and that's why like I even say like all these books I get a lot of manga books and they still have the tags in them for the virtual comic. Don't
Okay.
remove those tags.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't remove them. If you do that, you just made that book incomplete, and you never know what books are gonna blow up.
Yep.
So I say like this: I collect because I love to collect. I wanted to have like the perfect kind of collection where I see somebody build a cabinet, and I'm gonna build it once I have all my stuff together. I put my stuff on simple shelves, and they're all in short boxes, and I've been compiling ever since. And I've been doing this for the longest. Winter got a little rough; it was getting too cold. I didn't want to move. Now it's getting nice, so I'm moving all over the place, and I'm hyper. But you know what? Let's get off of this because we got so much to talk about. Oh yeah, I
I,
need
I
one.
need someone. I need to think of something to draw on this cover.
Yo, send that
I
to me. I'll
haven't
have
figured it out
Neil Ice
yet,
Cream hook you up.
but
Hook
I
you up.
need
All right, I'm gonna
two,
look this
three, and
up. Too.
four, or two, three, four, and five to complete this part of the Amazing Spider-Man run because these were part of the Amazing Spider-Man run.
Yep.
And there's volume 1 that is, and then volume 2 that isn't. So I thought I was collecting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I was actually
Oh, you were
collecting
collecting. Yeah, that happened to
1,
me too.
and then
Volume
volume
one,
2,
the
volume
volume
or
right,
volume
and
2,
you
issue
put
2,
them
volume 2,
together, and
issue
you're
3.
like,
Yeah.
I'm going through the same thing. I know you're talking
Yep.
about. You put them together. You're like, wait a minute. How come this looks a little off? This five don't look like. Yeah, I know exactly
Why
what you
is
mean.
this part of Secret Wars and this isn't?
Yeah, yeah,
How did they
right.
go from here to here? Like, what just
One
happened? Yeah.
one's Earth 616 and the other one's Earth 21 something. So it's
Yep.
different Earths. That's what it came down to. But yeah,
Yeah.
I had the same problem, especially when I was organizing them. Because I have a bunch of renew your vows, and I'm like, wow, this is such a great book. And I'm like, wait a minute. What the? And I'm like, what the, what the hell, man? Come on, just make it like chapter two. Thanks for
Yep.
telling me. Like, they don't tell you anything. And this is the
Yep.
problem. They make so many books now. It's very hard to keep up with all of them. But yeah, I plan to do like a lot of reading online. I'm gonna do like I decided that I'm gonna buy like the books I have that are older or newer. I'm gonna have two copies. I'm gonna read one and I'm gonna just go over it online. Do like a little live thing about it. See if people like that or not. Show
Okay.
these new books. There's a lot of craziness going on, you know, with everything. You saw my video that I was doing. I was
Yeah.
on I was floating around the set of the Equalizer. That was cool. I was loving it. I was like under the sun
That
crane.
was cool.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is so great. Like they do a good job up there. Shout out to everybody up there. So yeah, just rolling around doing my thing. But I've heard a lot of crazy rumors. Oh my god, like, shoo, like I don't even know, like when it came to the Flash. Oh god, yo, all right, I'm about to tell you some craziness about
Do
what's
it.
gonna happen in the Flash because we all know that Michael Keaton's Batman's coming.
Yep.
But did you hear a rumor about George Clooney's Batman? And you're thinking, that's
Yes.
so outlandish.
Yep.
No,
No.
no. Here's what I got from.
How?
I'm going to tell you. This comes from the. So listen, again, you may be breaking a great story here. So I'm saying it first and put it out there. So this is what I got from the very top of the insiders. This is what they're saying. The Flash will be stuck in Schumacher's Batverse. That's what they're calling it. Joel
Okay.
Schumacher's Batman, which will show George Clooney. That's where Flash is going to be stuck at. The way they're going to end off this movie is they're going to put him in the Joel Schumacher Batman world. He does see Michael Keaton, though, because he's running through the other worlds. He's going to wind
Yep.
up there. And
Okay.
however they're going to reconstruct from that point, it's no longer a rumor. That's right. That's what I'm saying. So if
Damn.
he's coming out, then he's saying this. See, George Clooney is definitely going to be in this, and that's
How
where
old
this
is
guy
George
is
Clooney right
going.
now?
Freaking dude, you don't understand the ramifications of what I'm telling you, though. You're talking Michael Keaton, George Clooney.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Tim Burton Batman and the Joel Schumacher Batman. This is insanity. Like this whole movie is insane. Like forget the Flash. This is
Yep.
going beyond the Flash. That's what I'm trying to explain. Like this is going beyond the Flash. The fact that James Gunn said that this was the greatest superhero movie he has ever seen. This is what he's saying to his
Yeah.
insiders. That this was the greatest movie he has ever seen. The man who
And
made Guardians of the Galaxy, like he put Guardians of the Galaxy on the map, and he's saying that this was the greatest movie he ever seen. So
that's why I'm not a fan of this movie. Right off the
exactly,
bat, I'm
right,
not a fan because this should not be a Flash movie. It should be Flashpoint. That's what they
right,
should have called it.
exactly. That's exactly what they should have called
It
it.
should not be
Flashpoint.
Flash. Like
Because but I guess at the
Flashpoint is a
time,
whole separate universe. You could call it Flashpoint and not have a single issue and put all the nostalgia shit you want in it. But the
yep.
Flash is not okay.
No, I mean, I think they're in a kind of a rock versus a hard place kind of situation
Yeah,
too. I
for
mean,
sure.
Ezra lost his shit. Let's face it. I mean, this kid's like bad news. He's toxic. But at the
And
same
DC
time,
fanboys are still backing him up.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, because people are nuts. That's it. I mean,
yeah,
we weren't there. I don't know what happened. All I can tell you from what I know about being on the inside of this, I can tell you that yeah, Ezra Miller's gone. That dude's been gone for like the past 5 years. But a lot of people knew this already, and
mm-hmm.
they didn't care because they don't want to ever deal with a problem until it becomes a problem. Once it becomes a problem, then they deal with it. So it just festers on and manifests into what you see.
Yep.
This is what happens. These people lose their minds. Look at Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. I mean, come on. I mean, a lot of people blame it
Yeah.
on Jada Pinkett Smith, and I do up to a certain extent. But I'll also look at the role of King George that he was playing. He was Serena and Venus's father, and
Yep.
I know the story well because when they first came out, I was like a teenager, I believe, and I remember following these girls. I saw them first on the Montel Williams show. I'll never forget this. And I remember their father distinctively. I looked at him and I was like, oh, this man, he's a good daddy. He's an overprotective one, too. You could see that he really cared. I
Yep.
feel like in Hollywood, this happens too with, these are my own personal theories, but I believe them to be true. Like, the role you play has a significant toll on you psychologically. And if you don't realize that and get help before it's too late, you can self destruct, okay?
Oh yeah.
Everyone who's ever played Superman always had bad luck with him. Everyone
Yeah.
who's played the Joker always had bad luck with the Joker. Some people actually wind up dying from that too.
Yep.
And think about this: if you're playing something that's so psychological that you become that, like
Mm-hmm.
when you talk, I talk to actors and I asked them, I said, so your process is exactly what? Their process is they put their all into it. And I told them, but don't you think that's kind of dangerous? Because then don't you lose a piece of yourself? They said every time they act, they feel a piece of themselves is lost. So the thing about it is you got to find a balance of doing it without
Yep.
becoming the very thing that you're studying. Because this happens a lot. It's a syndrome. They called it back in the day Helsinki syndrome, and that's pretty much empathy for like your captives. But just imagine your
Yep.
captives are the role that you're
Yourself.
playing. You're
Yep.
yeah you're captivated audience into the role that you're playing. This is a syndrome that is happening amongst Hollywood. So I believe that when that happened with Will Smith, I believe he was going through that as well. And I don't say it's an excuse or excuses him for what he did. Absolutely not. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that people we need to recognize that, as human beings, like we have to be very careful of what we
Yep.
portray. This is what always fascinated me about the Joker to begin with, because he figured it out. He figured it out before anybody else did. There's no such thing as anything. Like,
Yeah.
anything is possible. If you have order, you have chaos. If you have the light, you have the dark. He
Yep.
understood the balance and he stood on his side of the coin and
Did you
stood
like
the
the
firm
Joker
for that.
movie?
The new one that just came out, the
Yeah.
one with someone, I did and I didn't, and I'm gonna explain to you what I liked about it. What I liked about it is that it was a simple story. It doesn't follow any
Yes.
canon whatsoever, freaking ever.
Yep.
So that's why I didn't like about it. It has no canon whatsoever. He's not showing up to Bruce Wayne as a child. Come on, that killed me. If they
No.
would have
Yeah.
kept, if they would
I
have
was
kept,
like, what?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, if
And
they would
also,
have,
how is he that much older than Bruce Wayne? And then when Bruce Wayne finally becomes Batman at probably about what, 2025?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, not
Like,
only
come
that,
on. He'd
you
be
did it.
dead by then.
I would put it to you like this: the movie would have did great if they did not mention Batman whatsoever. He was too
I
young at this
agree.
point. They should have just
Completely
left
agree.
it
Yep.
alone, and then at the end, kind of hinted to it, but
Yep.
not the way that they were doing it. They're trying to make him like I don't like that canon that you're trying to say that um 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 Thomas Wayne was your father. Get out of here. No,
Yeah.
no. Which one is it? Was Thomas Wayne your dad? Was he the original Batman? Was he the leader of the Quarter Owls? Goddamn, Thomas
Yep.
Wayne has a bigger freaking background than Peter Parker's parents does.
Mm-hmm.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Maybe they are. They got captured. They work for the Red Skull. I don't even know. Like, it's
Yep.
so integral. Just keep the story simple, people. Like, it's literally,
Yeah.
it bugs me out whenever I think about it, because Thomas Wayne is like an integral part in so many different what if universes of Batman. Because in
And
the,
yep.
yeah, okay.
Not to mention, like, as soon as they mentioned Thomas Wayne and I saw how old he was, I was like, is this a universe where Bruce Wayne died?
Yeah.
Like, because I watched it way back when, and then I was like, I didn't remember a lot of it, and
Yeah.
I honestly think I fell asleep because we were watching at like 11 o'clock midnight, and I was just like done for the weekend or done for the week, and I was like, I'm going to bed. Don't care what's on right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, and I said to my wife last night, I was like, you know what? Let's watch Joker. She goes, okay, sounds good. Like whatever. And we're like watching, like, holy shit, this is fucked up. And we're like an hour in, and we both kind of looked at each other. And was like, this is slow. Like I get that you're telling a story. I understand it. But one, always been in the camp of the Joker does not need a backstory. He becomes so much more badass when he doesn't have a backstory. And that's why I honestly believe that Heath Ledger played the best Joker. You had no idea why that guy hated everyone, but he hated everyone, and he was going to show you in any way possible that he hated everyone.
Well, and his yeah. Yeah.
And then on top of that, like as soon as you start to sympathize with a character like the Joker, and you build out this universe where it's in like the 70s, but or I think it was like 70s, between 70s and 90s. I wasn't quite sure.
I think it was like more 70s, 80s. I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
more the appropriate year, like the 80s, like around the time
yep,
that the first Batman would have came out in the movies. I feel that was the time era
that's
that
what I
they were
thought.
trying to
Okay.
capture. Yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely right
Gotham
about that.
bounced around so much in their timeline and whatever it was. But yeah, so like there's that, and then like you introduce Thomas Wayne as like this much older guy than anyone would assume he is. If Bruce is like 10 years old
Yeah,
when he dies, like
exactly.
he'd be 30, maybe
Right,
40, like
right. He's
somewhere
not
in
no
that range,
70,
not
80 years old.
60. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, not
So like,
60 to
what the hell
70.
is up
Like
with this? Like, yeah, I caught that too, and I was like, no, come on, dude. Thomas Wayne was a young man when he got shot. He was like in his
exactly.
30s and 40s with his wife and his kid. How can he be this damn old?
Yep.
In what universe is this? And this is what kills me about the movie, because it's not going to be anything about canon. It's a standalone, just like the Batman movies are standalone. But if you actually combine them,
Yep.
you can do it the right way. But they never will. There's too much ego
Yeah.
going on. James Gunn is here, and he's going
Oh
to
yeah.
clean house, and he's going to reset. And I don't blame him. I mean, do you really? I mean, for the fans, it sucks. But if you were in charge of something and you knew that you liked something, but you wasn't a fan of the last administration, would you keep doing what they're doing? And that's my thing. Like, I just
True.
feel like cleaning house would be the best thing for him to do. But at the same time, it sucks. It really sucks, because I felt like they could have had a resurrection of the DCEU if they just stuck to their guns. But James Gunn came in and he was like, nah, nah, everybody
Definitely.
get out. I'm going to do my thing. And like I said, hey, I hope that he pulls it off. But I don't know if you know this either, but this is confirmed as well. I knew it. I kept saying it, and he did it. He is not only is he writing the new Superman movie, he's going to direct it too. Duh.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, "I'm not going to direct it. I'm not going to direct it. I'm not." Yeah, sure you're not. Yeah, okay. You're going to write the whole thing. You're going to write the whole thing. Give it to a director. See how you handle it, and you're going to be like, "Yeah, I'm going to let you direct it." You're going to be like, "No,
Did he
no,
write Guardians?
I believe he wrote some of Guardians. Definitely
Okay.
directed it.
He played
So
a
I
role in
believe,
it. He directed the shit out of
yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. But I think he wrote part of it. I don't think he wrote the entire Guardians. But anyway,
Okay.
well, I like Guardians personally. I
Oh
can't wait
hell
to
yeah.
see the last Guardians that come out. Because that to me is just like that's his baby right there.
Yep.
Like I always love Batista in that. Shout out to my boy Dave Batista. Oh my God, yo, they couldn't have found a more perfect Drax than that dude.
Oh yeah.
Especially when he was making fun of Mantis. Holy God, like he's calling her ugly. Poor Mantis. Then you find out Mantis is Star Lord's sister. You're like, what the hell's going on
Yep.
here? But yeah, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Groot's gonna be grown up, I think, by this one. So hopefully we get to see that. Cause
Yeah.
I
This
don't like
is
Baby
Swole
Groot.
Groot.
Yeah, this Baby Groot. I call him Baby Groot. He's not Baby Yoda. I liked him as Groot. I get
Yeah.
the story of what happened, and he came back to life, and he's just lost his memory, and he's maturing again. But it's just annoying. You
Yeah.
didn't have to do it. You should have left him big Groot. You didn't have to make him a little nothing.
For
You should have
sure.
just left him big.
But I still feel like people have said that Marvel struggles with doing like character progression, and
Yeah.
that was an easy way to do a character progression. Not
Yeah.
that
Also,
I mean that is kind of the easiest way out, but at the same time, it shows the fact that these characters are building over time
yeah. Of
in
course.
different ways. Like
Yeah.
obviously you could have Star-Lord grow, but he's going to grow more emotionally than he is physically because he's already a grown man.
Yeah.
Same with Rocket. You can see how Rocket kind of grows throughout the series
Mhm.
and starts to become more tactical, more like less mercenary style, like demeanor, and is more like, oh, let's go save the universe, not how much are we going to make off of this.
Yeah.
So I
But
mean,
but
it's
he's
it's all up
always
in the air.
but Rocket Raccoon's always snatching on the side. Don't
Oh
think he's
yeah, for
not. He's
sure.
always snatching, which is that's what you're supposed to do. He figured it out. Yeah, I'm a good guy.
Hardulary batteries.
Boom, here he is. Exactly. Yeah, so like I can't wait for that to really drop. I'm very excited to see. Guardians of the
So,
Galaxy definitely one of them.
do you think Flash is going to bomb just the same way Shazam is bombing right now at the box office?
Hmm. And we could talk about that bombing too. That's going to be a good question because from what I understand, like the problem with Shazam is more or less of course no one's following canon anymore, so
Oh
forget
yeah,
that. So now you're just putting in an entire cast of new villains and all this shit, and you're just rewriting it, and people are really like we've been saying this for the longest, and we're gonna continue saying this.
yep,
The customer's always right. They're not happy with this. Go to any of your videos. Stop turning off the damn freaking you know, they turn off the comments when they're getting obliterated. Like,
yeah,
leave it. Learn from this. This is what you guys need to do. You need to
yeah.
read the comments and see what's going on. Because in
What do the
reality,
fans want?
yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna give the fans what they want. I'm gonna write my stories, but at the same time, maybe I'll do a comic one day and I'll be like, we're gonna have four endings. This is my four outcomes. And
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you guys to pick what outcome becomes the best outcome. I'm gonna make my stuff so fan friendly that people are just gonna be part of it.
Yep.
I don't want to just create a universe. I want people to be part of that universe. I want to be able to work with other creators and other comics.
You
I
and me
want to
both,
do.
Cray Cray.
I just want to do all this, and it's not. I know there's a lot of ego involved, and you see, this is a problem with today's media. And I'm gonna say something, and this covers everything. It don't matter what you like, what you watch, what entertainment you're in, what your lifestyle is, what your personal life. This all pertains to the exact same thing. The problem with entertainment is that you have an entire generation of lazy writers, and you know who I'm talking about, you lazy ass writers. Bunch of lazy writers who are christened an entire plaque of an audience that you're given for no, you did nothing to earn this, and it's all good. It's your job. They give you this. They say, okay, we want you to take this and do whatever the hell you want to it. You mean I could change the characters? Yes. You mean I could do this? Yes. Do whatever we don't want you to even have any
Yeah.
knowledge of it. You have knowledge of it, get the hell out. Okay? Believe me, there was plenty of jobs I had to say I didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. They wouldn't give me just for the fact that I knew. This is why I wear this, Like
Yeah.
if they knew what I would do, they would be like, "Oh, you're gone. That's it." And it's not like I'm not breaching contract. I'm not doing anything like that. But they
Yep.
don't like fans. They don't like fans. Disney don't like fans. Universal don't like fans. They're better with the fans. They give them what they want because they're better with making money, but they don't like fans. All of these big corporations do not like anything about you. They hate you. In fact, they want you to come and see their useless garbage that they're churning out so you can forget it. The minute you watch a movie and you can't remember it within the first couple of months after watching it, then you know you wasted your time. And this is what the industry is becoming.
Yep.
I feel like the industry should be brought back to the way it was, where if you like it, you buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. I'm
Yep.
not changing anything. It's just like with Rocky. I don't know if you know about the Creed, that whole Creed story with Rocky, but pretty much Sylvester
Yep.
Stallone's out. He's out, and this
I
is the
heard that.
problem. And I'm gonna tell you how he's out because you gotta understand he was a young man when he did Rocky. Of
Yep.
course, you're gonna sign over a portion of it. You have to. I mean, where are you getting the money from to raise the money to make this movie? But then over the years, the portion gets sold to somebody else, and the portion becomes bigger and
Yep.
becomes bigger, and more people come in, and the more names you got, the more your portion becomes lost to the point that now your portions go up for bid, and then the next thing you know, whenever there's a copyright on any of your works, you have to keep on top of this. I believe it's within a 30 to 40-year period. I don't know if he did that or not. I didn't hear that he didn't keep on top of his copyright. He was on top of this, but they were still able.
Mm-hmm.
They were still able to take that from him. And he said it. He goes, he will
Which
not
is
see
crazy
Creed
to
3.
me.
he said, I didn't even care about the money. It's not about money for me. He
Yeah.
said, I just wanted to leave this for my children.
It's
So this is
principle.
what, yeah. So this is
Yeah.
what I say to all creators out there. If you're gonna create anything and you're gonna sign anything, understand what you're signing. See, me as a creator, I'm not gonna freaking. I'm gonna bust my ass and I'm gonna self-publish. I'm not asking for help. If people want to
Yeah.
help me, there'll be a Patreon up. I don't care for it. I'm gonna do it myself. I already
Yep.
started doing it myself. When I'm done with you, I got 2 hours of writing to do tonight. This is my dedication, my life. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna worry about giving it away to anybody. No one's gonna own anything of mine. I will work with you. I will work with anyone. But what's mine is gonna stay mine. I'm not taking no one's money. I'm gonna become an independent, self-independent person, and if it happens, and if I make it, then great. And
Yep.
I help whoever else wants to come along. This is what the business is about. Because people want to be entertained with the best thing that you could possibly come up with. Imagination. I have imagination in art, and I have all these skills, and I have many people around me with better skills than I have, and we're gonna combine everything that we know, and we're
Yeah.
just gonna put it out there into the world to see what happens. I mean, there's a new renaissance of comics coming. That's it. It's already begun. A lot of people don't know it yet. It's begun. Marvel, DC, you're gonna be dead within the next couple of years if you keep playing the way you're playing because you got no one buying anything. Look at the top 100 selling comics in the country.
Yeah.
Marvel don't even make the list anymore unless it's Spider Man. Same thing with DC. They don't make the list anymore unless it's Batman or Superman. I'm
Yep.
telling you the
And
truth.
even
I know.
Superman.
Even Superman don't even make the list anymore. It's
Yep.
pretty much just Batman. Batman for DC and Spider Man for Marvel. Without those two, these companies would be kaput right now. You
Yep.
know? But it's all good. Write however you want to write. Take the stories and destroy them because you could do whatever you want with those stories. So just remember, at the end of the day, you're going to be left with no fans, and that's going to
Yeah.
be on you. And then you're going to say everybody's a homophobe, racist, or whatever words you want to use to capitulate your failures upon society. No,
Yep.
the problem is that you didn't see what you had in your hands and didn't understand what you had. What you wanted to do was send a message instead of doing what you needed to do, which was go make something that the people are going to love and they're going to be thoroughly entertained. You're in the entertainment business. Get out of the entertainment business if you want to politicize everything and preach to the masses.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. Honestly, it's just to a point where I don't have a problem with like everybody wants rights, trans rights. Listen, trans people, we have rights. It's called you. We're all American citizens, and nobody
Yep.
cares about your sex. You're putting this onto your heads. You all have rights. You have the right. There's gay marriage. You can get married gay. You can do whatever you want to yourself as an adult. What rights are
Yeah.
you fighting for? I don't understand. Like you can't compare that to the civil rights. Civil rights was a completely different like party. Like they were
Oh
actually
yeah.
fighting for real rights. I couldn't vote. I need civil rights. Women couldn't vote. None, that's real rights, not
Yep.
this. You have rights already. I just say to
Yeah.
people like this, like it's okay. I think in a heterosexual world, we don't really focus on sex as much as the opposite side does. I don't know if that's by design or not.
Yeah.
But I feel like with us, we don't identify as our sex. We just identify as people, and that's a completely separate. It's almost rude to talk about. I mean, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to do it. That's just me, you know. But it seems like this is being done on a regular. Then they get angry at you when you don't want to be at that level. You can't
Yeah.
force people to view things the way that you view them. You could say
Exactly.
what you like. I'm not forcing nobody to believe what I'm saying. I know how I come from a place of hate. I come from a place of tolerance and love, and I always believe that people have the right to be whoever you are. But don't sit here and tell me that you're suffering when you're sitting here and saying you don't have the rights of a citizen. You do. Your rights are not being taken away.
Yep.
If they want to ban books in Florida schools, that's up to the Board of Education, which is a government ran system. If you don't like
Yep.
the government ran system, take your kids out that system and homeschool them or put them in private school. But you
Yep.
can't complain about it because this is what they feel they're doing. Which I mean, you're an educator, so I'm talking to somebody that I
Yeah.
don't know if you're dealing with this or not. You don't have to talk about it; it's all good.
No,
But
we
I'm
don't
just
talk.
saying,
We don't
yeah,
usually deal with that shit up here in New
yeah, and
York.
that's good, and that's what I'm saying because
Everything's allowed because
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like so you already know what I'm talking about,
yep.
and I won't even
I hear you.
it's getting ridiculous to the point that come
Yeah.
on, man. I'm here. I want my kids to learn all this other stuff about sex. Listen, we were not learning about sex from freaking the third grade, fourth grade. We didn't care. No, we were fine. We were fine.
Yeah.
Got to junior high school. That's why I started learning about everything. Cool, no problem. Started learning about straight people, gay people. Didn't matter. Okay,
Yep.
fine. I didn't need to know about this shit when I was in like the third grade,
Yeah.
the second grade. that you got people talking about, oh, we could get surgeries done at this age. No, this child abuse. I'm sorry. I'm like I said, I don't know anybody who's actually done this, so I
Yeah.
can't say that it's something being done, and I can't say that it's right or wrong. To each their own. But at the same time, I feel like this: if your child is under the age of 17, leave that child be until they're 17. Let them do
Yep.
what they want. Let them do what they want.
Yeah.
17 in the state of New York is legal. Let them do what they want at 17. You want to mail
Exactly.
if you want to mutilate yourself later on, that's fine. But you're gonna have a whole generation of kids that are gonna be all pissed at their parents for being dumb and not
Yep.
letting them just grow out of whatever phases this is. And when you say that, they get mad. But it's not. Sometimes it is just a phase. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have a little boy being brought up by a household full of women, like the father's not around for whatever the
Yep.
case is, and that kid may have tendencies of the women because this is the environment that he's in.
Yeah.
Environment plays a huge factor on
Huge
the
factor.
people that you
Nature
become.
over nurture.
So that's
Nurture
what I'm
over nature.
saying.
It all
And
depends.
and they know about the nurturing part, and this is
Yep.
what they're trying to do. It's indoctrination. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not trying to start no shit. I'm just saying this is indoctrination from what you set it up for me to the way that it looks. And I know you
Yeah.
can't speak upon it, but I can. And I just
And
say this much: kids are kids. Whatever. Once you're 17, you at 17, I would forget that you can't drink till you're 21. BS. Listen, you're old enough to
yep.
die in this country. You should be able to drink. You're old enough to make a decision as an adult at 17. Then you should be able to do anything you want. 17 off the limits. Do whatever
Yep.
you want. Don't complain about it later on. And if you're happy, then good for you.
Yep.
Then great. I just want kids to have a chance, is all. Like, little kid that's 12, 13 don't know nothing. I'm sorry. I don't care how certain you are. You're not certain. Look, you're not certain. We're not. I didn't know shit about who I was when I was 14, 15. I couldn't say either
Yeah.
way. But I wasn't gonna be. I couldn't imagine being like, oh yeah, I feel like a girl now and I want to just be a woman, and I couldn't imagine that. Like these things weren't here in our society to even talk about. So either A, they didn't exist before, then B, they weren't talked about, or C, now everything's just
Yep.
so free open that. I mean, you just got to be
Yeah.
very, very careful. I mean, in the world, you just got to be careful with your children and what they're exposed to. I mean, as a
Exactly.
parent, you're supposed to control this. And I hate when parents say this because I've had a lot of parents say, "Oh, I send my kids to school." Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, you're supposed to take responsibility for your kids as well. Like,
Yep.
put in the work. When my kids were growing up, I used to sit there with them, homework, open
Yep.
up your books, spelling we do it, math we do it. I sat there with my kids every day and I
Yep.
did homework with them. And guess what? They were straight A students. You know why?
I
Because that's the teamwork. The
yeah.
teacher and me work together. If I saw
I
something I didn't like, I go right to the teacher. What's going on?
I once had a parent tell me, "Why aren't you teaching my kid to read?" I say, "I'm teaching your kid to read. I work with him
Yeah,
every single day on how to read.
yeah.
How much is he reading at home? He
Hmm.
doesn't.
Oh, there
Like,
you go.
well,
Practice make
if he
perfect.
can't
Yeah,
apply what he's learning outside of school, when is he ever going to learn to do what he wants to do with, or what you want him to know how to do? Like, hello, come
yeah.
on.
This is
If
teamwork.
yeah,
Like, people don't understand this. This is a work that's done together.
yep,
Like, you have to take responsibility for your kids' education. You can't just blame it on the system, say the system don't know what it's
exactly.
doing. If you're not doing everything that you need to do for your kids, then blame it on yourself as well.
Yep.
I mean, you have
Yeah,
to think about the kids first, and like I said, homework is very important, and it's also something to instill into a kid. They need that routine,
yep,
that structure. Without that
yeah.
structure, at home is almost impossible to
And
to
like,
become successful.
I totally understand trying to find your identity, trying to
Hmm.
figure all that out. Like, I get it. It is tough in middle school and high school to figure all that stuff out, whether you're gay, straight, bi, or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
And I mean, I've got a student right now going through it, and it's a struggle because it's like, I don't want to offend them. I don't want to offend the parent. I know the parent isn't totally on board, so it's like you're struggling with that, and you're struggling with the idea of, okay, as an individual who is the adult in the situation, or one of the adults in the situation, what is my best course of action? Like, do I just kind of let it go and just let it ride? Do I feed into it? You know what I mean? Like, it's a struggle because you really have to dive deep and be like, what the hell am I going to do about this?
It's like you're drawn between morality and what makes common sense. I
Yeah,
get it. You
because
know,
I don't want to hurt the kids' feelings, and I also don't want them to get made fun of.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
So,
it's just a weird situation because this is for the first time something that we're actually dealing with in the
yeah,
society. I feel like It's not new, but from how on the level that we're dealing with, it's completely new. You know, like Flash.
We did start talking Flash. Basically, what we said so far about it is that it is no longer a rumor. It has been absolutely confirmed that George
Yep,
Clooney will be in the Flash, and that is where um, Ezra
that's
Miller's Flash is going to get left at
yep.
the end of the movie. You said,
Yes.
okay,
So I'm not sure like if there's another Flash that's gonna take his place. But you were telling me that there was, and I believe this may be like the reboot. Like in other
yeah,
words, he's gonna be left there. It's an open-ended story, pretty much. It works out great, actually.
yeah,
Nostalgia pop, but at the same time, it closes a chapter on a nut job you just need to get away from,
yeah,
and you could start this again. I always said, why did they use the freaking Flash from TV? That dude was awesome. Oh, who's the source that says this? I can't really say for sure, but I'm telling you, you'll see it. It'll be out there because it's already floating around the internet. Um, but the source was very high up. This is literally from the studio, so I'll say this much: it came from the studio. I won't say who, but it came from a few people in the studio. So this is right out the studio. You can start googling it now because you gotta understand that's also being leaked. Kind of like,
yeah.
I just wanted to break it first to you guys.
They want it to leak. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm full firm believer of they're okay leaking certain stuff, and they're also okay leaking so much that it floods the system with a bunch of false data, so that way everyone's like, well, which one is it actually? Like, I
here's
feel
what
like
they
that's what Marvel's doing with the Fantastic Four.
here's what they do a lot, especially with Hollywood. They do they like to confuse the fans. They'll put out something that's filming and they already know it ain't what that's give you some BS name. But then over time something started happening. I guess they started listening over the years I kept saying this. Why are you guys hiding the names of the movies and the TV shows? Why don't you use that? That's free advertisement. You're gonna have papers showing up. You're gonna have internet bloggers showing up. You're gonna have people of all realms of media showing up. This is free advertisement. Why you not now? Apparently, they start now showing when they're filming something and they start putting out press releases for it and they
Yep.
start showing like the wrap up and this is free ever. But years ago they didn't want you to even know where they were shooting, what they were shooting. They would tell you lies. What thing you're
Yep.
shooting? They'll tell you whatever. If you ever ran into a set a couple years ago in the street and you asked them what they're shooting, they gave you a name. Trust me, 9 out of 10 times that name was BS. It's not the name. They don't want you to know. We were shooting Westworld like a couple years ago, right? I never forget this. We were shooting it up in Manhattan in the 20s. And I'm sitting up in the freaking sky and I'm looking up and I'm like, they rented one of those CGI copters with the freaking with the camera on the front. And I didn't see this last season of Westworld. I want to see it, but they were doing an aerial shot. And everybody kept asking, what is it you guys are filming? And they gave them some crazy name. But the thing about it is that people who are fans of the show know that they have this weird futuristic car that's like all glass. Like they sit in it
Yeah.
and it takes the car. I don't know if you know the car I'm talking
Yep.
about, but it's all glass. It's all glass. It's like really, it's just like a. And I sat in the thing's awesome. I'll show you the pictures. I'll send you some later. So people are like, no, this is Westworld. Look, that's the car from Westworld. Look how they're dressed. And I'm like telling these guys. I'm even telling, and at this time, like I'm kind of hanging with the one of the writers, one of the main writers. No, I'm sorry, he wasn't the writer. No, he was the cinematographer of the action scenes. He was actually the cameraman, like one of the main director cinematographers. I forget his name
Okay.
exactly, but we hit it off well, and he was just going crazy with like not telling nobody name. I said, "Well, you need to do this. This is free." Now all of a sudden, like I said, a couple years later, you can go to any of these shoots and everybody's showing what they're shooting. So yeah, that's a good thing. It's good to have free advertisement. I love YouTube for this reason. Like when I start doing the comics and it starts coming out, I got a couple of thousand people following me. You got a couple thousand people following you. Congratulations, we're killing it. We're killing it. We're still a small channel, people, but I mean, for the growth that I've seen in the last year and a half, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with what I've seen. I
Yep.
just, I'm just close to getting monetized, but it's all good though. I'm not even doing this. I don't care about the money. Yeah, I'm not doing this for money. This is what I love. I just wanted to share this with the world because how else can I show millions of people what I collected? and not have millions of people in the house. Like, or I could take this on the road. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll get a trailer, just put this all in the trailer, make a Spiders Layer trailer, go freaking from state to state. I won't charge anything. Donate whatever you want. Walk through,
Come
save
walk through the
distance. Yeah,
lair.
exactly. I'll make it like a nice walkthrough. But yeah, I mean, the future's good, and I
Yeah,
say like with entertainment right now, I would say like it's getting to a point, especially with so the Shazam movie is definitely a bomb. Flash movie, I'm not sure if it's gonna bomb.
I hope
I
it
do
doesn't because
know,
I really want to
no,
see
no,
what
I
they
believe
do
you.
from it. But
Okay, look, like I can tell you how I knew that Shazam was gonna bomb because the minute they started to release that commercial, and I saw like the clip like a day or two before they released it because they did like a test screen for
yeah,
all of us. They didn't say what was on it. Everybody liked it. I'm no, and then, I'm that guy. They're like, oh no, 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 no. Like, but I'm like this. I'm like, yo, I'm like this. I'm like, listen, listen, listen. Why are you guys doing this? Why are you showing Wonder Woman at the end of the clip? And they were like,
yeah.
no one noticed this. And everybody looked at me. They were like, well, you didn't see Wonder Woman sitting there talking shit to him as he's walking. I'm like, why are you doing this? Are you this desperate? Didn't we see this movie already with Black Adam and this is they didn't even wait for the freaking movie to come out. You threw it
And
out there in
now,
a commercial.
now there's a new rumor that Wonder Woman's going to be in Atlanta. What the hell is the new Aquaman movie called? Whatever
Aquaman 2: The Lost Kingdom?
yeah, Lost
Yeah,
Kingdom.
yeah. And what's she doing in the Lost Kingdom? The last time I checked, Diana couldn't breathe underwater. Now all of a sudden, what? Is she taking? Is she gonna listen? If she's gonna kill Mira, I'm all
No,
for
the
that.
Lost Kingdom's above water.
Yeah, the Lost Kingdom. Oh, yeah, the above water Lost Kingdom. Got it. That's the Lost Kingdom. The Amazon rainforest, probably. Who the hell knows? At least I watched it last night. I thought it was fun. Cool, cool. I don't doubt that it's gonna be
I'm sure it's a ton
a
of fun. I
fun
mean,
movie. I'm just saying, like, from what I
yeah,
gathered from testing and everything, you gotta understand if a movie's not breaking what it previously did
yeah,
and going over by a few million, that Thursday is the most important. Remember, I told you this, and
yep.
you know, and we can show the text because I was texting you this Wednesday, and I was telling you Thursday how it was testing, and I told you it only tested 3.5 million. That's horrible for a Thursday. You gotta understand your Thursdays, your Fridays, and your Saturdays. That's it. That's the where most of the money is made in movies. Unless you're
Yeah.
James Cameron and you can just pull off some freaking magic. But most movies, if you follow them, every movie will have at least for the second week a 60 to 70% drop off. That's just
Yep.
a matter of how it is. The drop off just happens like that. So if you're not pulling in, this movie's not even going to pull in 30 million. It's a complete failure.
So that means, let's say they make 50 this weekend.
Hmm. Yeah,
Or let's say they make 50 in the first week, because I mean
yeah,
that's pretty much what it's going to be. If they're
yeah,
making 30 million in the weekend, 20 million
yeah,
across the week,
yeah.
that means by next week they're making maybe roughly another 20 million, which would then put them up to 60. Maybe they get to 100 by the end of this run after a month.
Wait, so say how much you
I
think they're going to
mean,
make next week?
so if they were to make 30 million in the
Uh huh.
first Thursday through Sunday, they make 20, they get to 50 like across the next week with people going at night and the Tuesday night screenings where it's all like the matinees and all that crap. Um and then you see like that drop off that week after. If they only made 50 the first week and you're saying 50%, they might make another 20 million, so that puts them at 70. Like, I
Now
mean,
you're
that's
talking 2 week movie where the movie
yeah,
costs 120 million to make. And a lot of people are like, yeah, but it didn't cost that much to make. People, listen. This is the calculation for Hollywood, so you know. If a movie costs $120 million to make, you have to add another $120 million to that movie for advertisement. Trust me when I
yeah,
tell you, it's a cutthroat business. The people who make money in this business are the advertisers. Shout out to all the advertisers. That's the career you need to go for. And Thursday night movie theater like that exactly. You see, and that's what we're saying. People are saying that pay to drop off early stream.
yep.
Yeah. Um, so this is a problem when you go. You can't blame the pandemic anymore. There's no such thing as that. There's not that. You can't blame pandemic. This is coming down to the story, and
Yep.
Shazam is a very sensitive thing. Like people don't understand. This is so old school. And I'm not saying that the people who are watching this are the 80-year-olds. I'm just saying like there is like a sect of people who are gonna
Yeah.
watch Shazam today and understand the lore of Shazam and want that. It's kind of like an old school niche kind of like I always say like if I had to say
Yeah.
for my own personal thing, I always like to throw out like little
I
conspiracy theories
completely
out
agree
there.
with that statement too.
It still didn't even bring profit. Yes, exactly. That's my point.
750.
Yes,
Like
seven
that's
fifty just to
I
break
don't even know
even.
what that number would look like in my bank account.
Just
And
right about that because you gotta like just to break even, it will probably have to make about that much, and that's and
yeah,
that's a fact. And it's not
I
going
think you
to.
got to triple, right, to break
Yeah,
even.
I think whatever the total is, I think it costs 150 to 200 million to make the movie. I gotta look up the actual stats. I
Yeah.
think it was 120, 240 times that by two, so 480. Yeah, about 750,000 it would need to make because you gotta understand, advertisement's gonna cost you a lot. That's just the
Yep.
worldwide advertisement. And we're talking about domestic advertisement. You gotta add worldwide. We don't know where this is being released. If it's not being released in China, then they just lost about another 10 million right off
Yep.
the bat. And who knows? Maybe they won't release it in China. I don't know. Well, didn't we shoot down one of their weather balloons that was just so happened to fly over all our missile silos? Shout out to the Chinese. I love you
That's the
guys.
reason why Shazam
Yo,
won't do well. Is
yeah,
we shot down their
exactly.
damn
We shot
balloon.
down. Now that's it. Now they're gonna shoot your movie down. That's it. They're gonna throw a lightning bolt at that thing. So I don't think
And it was actually Shazam's lightning bolt that shot it down.
yeah, exactly. Because the damn
Shazam!
60
Boom! Oh shit!
$60,000 Stinger missile missed that damn. I want a piece of that bat as a taxpayer. You wasted 60 grand and you couldn't shoot down a balloon. If you would have gave me a goddamn rifle, I would have stood on the wing of that plane going at 600 miles and clipped that one, no problem, man. You guys suck. I was like, look at that. I think it was a Stinger missile, if I'm not mistaken. You wasted a Stinger missile. Where did it go? Where did it land?
You,
Who's recovering it? It missed? Did it say, "Oh, it exploded"? Did it explode? Where'd it go? I want
do
that
you want
missile
your
back.
200th of a penny? That's what it
Yes,
would
I
be.
do. Yeah, I want 200 for one penny. For every time they screw up, I want because 200 for one penny times a billion screw ups. You do the math. I'll have $100 by the end of the week.
So,
Oh man,
last question before we end for
yeah,
tonight. If because obviously like they want James Gunn is going in this direction where it feels that he's going to go future based,
yeah.
and I feel like he's going to do because he's doing a Damian Wayne storyline. I feel like that means you got to bring in some Robins, you got to bring in Nightwing, you got to bring in maybe even Arkham Knight, but that's like way off.
The Bat family. Yes,
Yeah,
that's my answer.
could you bring in Terry McGinnis? And which Batman
Ooh.
would you have train Terry McGinnis? Would it be George Clooney, Michael Keaton?
Oh.
Like, I mean, if you're gonna bring Clooney back, that's my theory. Like, if
No, so
you
I have
bring
the
him
answer
back
to
at
this. What
60
I have,
years old,
listen, I have the answer to this. It's definitely going to be Keaton.
you
I'm
think
going to tell
so?
you, yes, I'm going to tell you why. Because Keaton can't be Batman anymore, no matter what. He's too old.
Yeah,
Um, he can't do it now, even if he does, even if he could do it. So it's first of all, you gotta understand for anyone who's ever followed the Batman series, like I said, I agree with you what you said that Christopher Nolan's Batman, The Dark Knight, that to me those that Batman and Joker, they were the best characters that were played by both
yeah.
actors, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean,
Keaton's 71, so
yes,
10 years older than Clooney.
right, that's what I'm saying. But I also remember, yeah, that Keaton Batman was just like the we're just talking about the Tim Burton Batman,
Yeah,
not the other the Joel Schumacher one. I wasn't never crazy about. I always found that for Joel Schumacher to just be a vanity project instead of taking it. I mean, we were
yeah,
talking Tim Burton was making this an incredible. Oh my God, the first two Batman were dope. That's what I'm
yep.
saying. So that Keaton now, I could see him bringing in Terry McGinnis and training him to be the Batman Beyond. I'm telling you, I say Keaton should
That'd
do
be
it because
legit.
I never took George Clooney seriously as Batman. Especially when you had Robin saying "holy nipples." Like, what the hell are you talking about? My nipples, they got like, what are you talking? You remember that line? He said something like "holy nipples,"
I
Batman. Like, what the hell? The
I
first holy
still
thing he
don't
ever
get
said.
where he was
Like,
going with
what?
that line.
Yeah, yeah. My
That's like the
nipples, they're
same thing
holy.
as
Like,
like
what
running
the
around with the
hell?
bomb as Batman. Like,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
do I
yeah,
put
yeah.
it? Like,
But that was funny at least because you knew it was dumb. Cause come on, man, keep going, or just put the
oh
ball to it.
shit.
You run away from it. Don't run with it. That was the point of that.
Yep.
But holy, oh, it was the line was holy metal, Batman. He looked at him. He goes, the metal has holes in it. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, the same thing, you know. So I believe that you're gonna see the Bat family coming. I mean, yeah, I was telling you this a while back. I think so. If we didn't talk about this, then we'll talk about it now. They're capitalizing on the Spider Verse.
Oh yeah.
Believe me, everything, every alternate universe you see is capitalizing on the Spider Verse.
Yep.
It does good things and bad things. The good things it does is it has now an outlet for you to create canon into an existing reality without screwing it up. That's one important thing. But the bad thing that it does, it it doesn't incentivize anybody to build anything new because who are you going to compete against? The Batman, Superman, Spider Man? You're going to really compete against them? No. Even if you
Yep.
can make something, what do? You see, and that's where creators got to find that balance in the middle. And
Yep.
I say the thing to do is one, do what you love, and two,
Truth.
if you're a true fan of any book, I know what you like. You know what I like. We
Yep.
already know what each other like. I'm gonna write to your liking, and you tell me what you think. And then if you don't like it, you say, "Hey, this is garbage." You know, like I would have did it this way. Criticism. People gotta learn how to take criticism. It's not the end of the world. Somebody criticizes anything that you do. It should be a learning experience. You shouldn't take anything personally. I get
Yeah.
criticized all the time. I don't care. I'm like, hey, give it to me. I want criticism. You know, if I'm putting up my
Tell me
stuff
what you
and you
think.
don't
I
like
don't
it,
give a shit.
I've had people. I have this one Matrix video going now, right? I put out there a video clip I found of Sophia Stewart talking about how she was she wrote a script in her book that she wrote, and pretty much the Matrix and the Terminator
Okay.
is her baby, right? I put it out there. People ask me, I don't find the references. I'm like, oh, this is
Oh,
I put the information out there. You see her? I said, yep, but she's still sitting there being interviewed, talking about the Matrix, and she's breaking down what John Connor means in her book. John Connor is Jesus Christ, and Neo is John Connor, one of the same in the Matrix. I'm like, can you imagine if this was the
makes
case?
sense.
And I have people telling me, oh,
Yep.
this is not the case. And I'm like, oh, well, listen, it is or it isn't. She's saying it, but the video still exists. I'm not saying that it is. She's saying that it is. It exists. I can't find a legal briefs. Good. That's what I want.
Yep.
Engagement. And that's why I always tell people, send me whatever you don't like. I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. But
Yep.
don't get mad if somebody says something and you can't find the info. I mean, hey, back in my day, we all knew how to fix Nintendo cartridges, and we did not have a damn freaking internet. My fan fiction of Terminator. Um, you write no, I write I'm writing a whole story now, and it's pretty much I'm pretty much writing the story. I don't want to give away too much what it's about, but it's pretty much what would happen to a planet when an entire race of um parasitic beings would take over, let's say. Um but develop a conscience. It's just something like that. It's hard to explain, but I explain to you, Chris, so you understand where I'm coming from. I don't want to give away too much because the story itself is going to be freaking amazing. It is amazing. I have it all. The story's here, people. I know the story. I have the whole thing written out. I have the entire 6 books written out. All my books I mean, not written out in my head already. I'm starting to translate it right, but
Yep.
I know the story
It's
how
all
it's going to
here. I
go.
gotta.
It's like I'll be honest, the
Yeah.
world that I'm gonna create is gonna be as big as any Star Wars universe, Harry Potter universe. It's gonna be huge like that, and I'm not doing it like that on purpose. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just that when you start to create a base and you have a
The way you
character, and
flesh it out.
you have 2 characters, you have 6 characters, they're all meeting up. Now what? Now there's another mission that's going on, and that's gonna grow.
Yep.
And then now I'm already thinking about the next 3 books that I haven't even got done the first 6. But
Yeah.
it's all good though because that's why I like talking about it. I like putting it out there. I want people to know that listen to me. And this goes to all you young people. I don't want to hear it anymore. Young people, when we were younger, we had it rough too. No one gave me anything. I hate hearing this. Oh, You didn't have it
Yep.
that rough as I did. And I asked this the other day. So what did you have that I had that you don't have now? What? Because I can't figure it out. Listen, it's real simple. Life sucks. Suffer. Suffer, fall down, break your ankle, break a hip, break a leg. You know why people say these things? Because when you recover from that, that's the
Yep.
character that you become. You
True.
build character by suffering. Suffer. If you lived an entire life of doing nothing and pampered and being soft, you're never gonna know what it really means to be alive.
Yeah.
That's why rich kids go insane. Why did they go insane? Because they never have to suffer. They don't know what that is like. I think the worst thing you could do to your kids is give them everything they want. Your kids have to suffer somewhat because if they don't understand what it means to
Gotta
have
tell them
joy
what's
for
good at some
something.
point.
You have to have a balance. I'm not saying beat your kids and don't feed them, only if they don't deserve it. What up?
But
What
you're
I'm
gonna have to go
saying,
back and watch the replay, buddy,
yeah, definitely,
because we're
man.
about to sign off.
Yeah, and I have fun, man. I have fun as usual,
Yeah.
and I'll be doing this next week. If I think my work situation is gonna be good, so Friday, Saturdays I should be good. If
Okay.
not, I'll let you know ahead of time. Maybe I can set up remotely because I can always grab the laptop and just take the headset with me, and we could
Sounds good.
broadcast from an unknown location. Trust me.
From the set of the
Yo,
Equalizer.
I can't even say what set I'm gonna be on. Then I'll just say, well, it's your channel, so I guess I can. I just stay hidden. But yeah, I had a good time, man. So yo, guys, if you a fan of this show, please come subscribe to this man. He's awesome. I'm already a member. Become a member. He's not asking me to
That's
do
what's
any of
up.
this, by the way. But you know I want money now. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, come check me out too. The Spiders Lair at the Spiders Lair. We got great stuff. We're always exchanging ideas and info, and we're
Oh
always
yeah.
going to be chilling. And I just hope when I start my show, you be a regular guest.
Of
Okay?
course. As long as I'm available, we'll do it.
Yeah, you definitely. I just got to work out what day is going to work for all of us, but we're going to talk about that because I want to do this too. This is fun, and I always have a blast. So, Chris,
Yep.
that's it, man. It's your show. You got to wrap it, my brother. So, thanks for having me on again. I always appreciate you.
Sounds good. See you later,
Yeah.
buddy. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Thank you guys for
Peace out,
checking it
everyone.
out
And
in the
thanks
chat.
for,
And
yeah, definitely. Thanks for engaging with us, people. We really appreciate you guys too. I'll see you all next week. Peace.
see you then.